Good evening, chess lifestyle guys. I don't know why I just called you guys that. I'm still a little bit sleepy. I just woke up. As you probably recall, I did not stream yesterday, and I thought I'd actually stream this morning, the morning before. This chess tournament. I'm playing in Team Rapid today, 20 minutes plus 0. And then I'm playing in an individual rapid 15 minutes plus 10 tomorrow. And also welcome Jan to the stream. Glad to see you here. Before I get into this morning's training, I need to get something off my chest. And I was very curious actually how I would wake up this morning because I guess I had an incident yesterday, and I don't know how how else to put this, but basically, I guess for like maybe a year now, I have had two students on Friday evenings, completely unrelated from each other, right? And I kind of started teaching them both at the same time, and I started teaching both of them from the moves, right? Like they didn't know anything, right, when I started with them. And I think I've objectively given them, one of the best chess starts they can hope for, like no bad habits that they have to unlearn, really try my absolute hardest in every single lesson I create for them. To make it like the absolute, best that they can learn from, right? And basically yesterday, I reached my absolute limit with one of the kids, and I guess you can call it the equivalent of like a breakup. I guess I basically just told the parents I'm completely done, basically I mean as a coach, to be a good coach, you can't just teach the perfect students and be content with that, because ultimately, people come from different backgrounds. People have, all kinds of different levels of personality and whatever, right? Maybe they clash with you, right? Doesn't matter. You try your best to adapt the lessons to suit the needs of the student, right? And I have worked so hard for this one student. I've literally gotten him to such a great level. And this is not the first student that I've had to cut off. But my God, the level of disrespect and rudeness and actually unbelievable. And I'm I know I've had these issues with this kid in the past, but I try my absolute best to do everything I can for this kid, and I know that my lessons are good because the other kid I teach on a Friday, who I also started teaching around a similar time, chess is his favorite thing in the world. He even gave a presentation in school last week about chess and all of the ways that it brings him joy and everything. And I know that, I'm partially responsible for this, right? I work hard for these lessons, right? And, some people, some friends of mine, in the past, I've ranted to friends about this kind of stuff. And my friends would be like, who maybe are also chess coaches, right? And they tell me but Michael, why get so emotionally invested in this stuff? Just treat it as a job. Well, I can't do that. As a chess coach, I care about these students, and if I'm putting my time and effort into something, then I'm not going to do it if I don't give a shit about it, right? So, basically, I'm done with this student. I mean, the parents low key wanted me to continue and stuff, or do stuff in the holidays, or something like this. But no, I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this student. And I think maybe someone else can. I think he is coachable. I don't think it's necessarily a problem with him, but it's definitely a problem with us. I think I don't know, for whatever reason, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, right? But all I can say is what I'm not gonna do though is allow this like experience to mess up my tournament. And this is where I have like Josh Waitzkin to thank and his Art of Learning book, because what you must not do is let situations like this that are external to your, you know, your mindset in chess, like affect your ability to play. And you need to use moments like this to rile you up, and you channel your energy and motivate yourself to play the absolute goddamn best chess you can. And I swear to God today, these 2200s on board 1 who I'm playing, they have a storm coming from. It was a storm yesterday night, and whenever I have a storm, I always play better. And you know what? I'm actually feeling really motivated. So yeah, this is the plan. I mean, I was gonna like do some of like the reviewing our mistakes and you know, like the recent calculation kind of video I showed you guys. But you know what? I'm not in the mood to like be experimenting this morning. I mean, I know that woodpecker does the trick, and then yeah, we'll do some woodpecker, maybe play a 10-0 to warm up, and then I'll head to the tournament and just, you know, try and play the best chess I can. So, rant over. Let's train some chess. Does his name start with an A and end with Rav? Bro, I would never cut Arav off in this manner. No, of course not. Of course not. I mean, okay, like I've had my issues with Arabs, and we've talked through them, and you know we're fine, But no, I mean, I don't know, man. I've said my piece. Like I'm not gonna go on any further. Let's train some fucking chess. Let's go. Right. Okay. So, Aliekin against Collie. Let's solve this. So we've got bishop pair against knight and bishop. We're 1 pawn down. We have slightly worse pawn structure. E6 pawn is backwards. Got some tension on the e file. Got a lot of tension, actually. I mean, this rook is looking so weak, and we've got all of this pressure, right? So, I mean, one way to win a pawn, it looks like, is maybe, like, take... and one thing I am reflecting on is recently, I think... Again, apologies for forgetting the pronunciation of this guy's name. Like, Prabhat, I think. This viewer who's similar level to me who comments on a lot of my videos. He mentioned something about woodpecker. Also, I'll reply to you when I get the time. I just haven't had the time. But yeah, like he mentioned something about woodpecker in terms of like pattern recognition as well. And I think like I see where he's coming from. Like the woodpecker is really about like training this muscle memory. That's the whole point of these cycles, right? So I think I will do a bit of a mix. Like, you know, on one hand, yes, I want to calculate and get these absolute correct. But if I see like a pattern like this, like all of this pressure on the rook on e8, I think just chill out with the whole evaluation, thorough calculation, shallow calculation, and just solve it. If I think it jumps out at me, otherwise we go back, evaluate, and find it. So just very, very quickly, I just want to spot whether this immediately wins with takes on f5, because you know they can't take back without allowing this rook takes rook. You know, we can't take immediately because potentially the knight can take. So bishop takes knight, queen takes, and yeah, they can't take for multiple reasons. Actually, that queen is hanging on d6 as well. But I guess maybe the issue is maybe that they can ignore it and take on f4. But having said that, we can take on e6 with check, and that also protects this pawn. I mean, we're definitely winning back our pawn with this line. So, okay, we've got like a backup if, let's say, we're low on time and we need to just decide on something. And I mean, this is going to be pretty clutch in the tournament as well. Like, you know, 20-0, it's all about making smart, quick decisions. And a few things I've learned over the years when playing, like, no increment rapid. Rule number 1 is if you play no increment, it's very important you manage your time well. So, in the openings, you only spend 1/5 of your time. So if you've got 20 minutes on the clock, you don't spend more than 4 minutes. As soon as you're approaching that 4-minute mark, you speed the hell up, because you're going to need that time in the middle game and the end game. So that's the first thing. Second thing is you have to treat, and you know, over the years I've like, you know, perfected this kind of mindset, but you want to imagine getting down to 5 minutes as flagging, right? And the idea of this is that when you get down to, let's say, 10 minutes on the clock, you imagine in your head and you play as if you've only got 5 minutes left. Because the point is, if I were to ask you, like, how much elo in strength would you be playing a 20-0 game compared to a 15-0 game? And the answer is there's probably not much difference, right? Like, that extra 5 minutes, probably you'll like burn it somewhere useless, and you're not much stronger with the extra 5 minutes. So the point is, like, you basically ensure that you don't get into time trouble problems, because a lot of these 20-0 games are going to be decided in time scrambles. And if you enter every single time scramble with an extra few minutes on the clock, you'll win consistently way more of those time scrambles. So, that's that's super important. You've got to have these like little tricks you can do to manage your time and make sure that you don't enter unnecessary problems on the clock. So I'm gonna keep these two things in mind. I'm gonna try and play. I mean, I remember like I spoke to this blitz specialist. I've got this old YouTube video which I'm very fond of, talking to this Filipino player called Edmund Andal, and he was just sharing his advice. He was like 2200 FIDE at the time, blitz. And he said, you've got to play quick. And there's a word beginning with C. What do they say? Composed. You have to be composed. So no matter what happens in the game, you have to be fast, you have to be accurate, and you have to be composed. These were the three things that he said. And of course, that's a very broad kind of advice, and like, how do you actually achieve that? That's another thing. But this composure is super important. As soon as like you let some mistake get to your head, then it's all over. So you need to like be ready to fight back from anything. That's the situation. So okay, let's actually try to solve this properly now. So what checks do we have? Got take on G7, H7, F7, E6, E8 as well. Got captures. Got like rook E6. Got bishop D6. Got bishop F5. Loads and loads of captures. In terms of threats, it could be a threat because our king isn't like particularly in danger at this moment. So maybe if we can set something up, like maybe if like playing c5 or something changes the situation on the board ever so slightly, something like this. And this is something to note already. I mean, remember how I like immediately looked into this bishop d6, bishop f5 stuff and was like, oh, maybe I win a pawn. But the point is that I could already play rook takes e6 and win a pawn, right? So this is like already like winning a pawn, right? Also welcome UKit. Haven't seen you on the stream before, so I appreciate that. And I'm glad you enjoyed the tips about the clock. I mean, I've been playing like competitive chess for 15 years, and you pick a lot of stuff up, right? So this stuff is very important. If you think that you can win chess based on chess skill alone, then you're sorely mistaken. No, you need so much more than just basic skill of chess. Okay, so I'm just having a quick scan of the checks. Do any of the checks do anything? No, we're like losing in all of them. So rook e6, what's the difference between, let's say, playing a move like rook e6 and actually trying to be fancy with bishop d6 and bishop f5? Somehow bishop d6 and bishop f5, I seem to like the resulting position more. If I go rook e6, maybe it just plays knight e4 there. Knight e4 feels like a decent move. I mean, I can take on e8, he takes back with the rook, I don't know. Positionally, I don't like it as much, but this is not how to think. I need to be thinking more concretely. Rook e6 has no checks. Don't see any relevant captures. So if this bishop takes d6, queen takes d6, maybe this is the problem. If bishop takes f5, no, I don't see any problem. No, I think my intuition was correct here. I mean, unless I'm missing like an even stronger knockout blow. Like maybe a threat as well could be something like this, but it's not immediate, right? Like he's got time to sort out this knight. Like he can just move it and keep defense on this. So I think it's bishop d6. Okay, and then this was the idea. I mean, I don't think there are any other moves that make too much sense. I mean, if I take, basically they can take with the rook. And if I take back, they can win my bishop, right? So I need to go for this. Yeah. So let's just double check with the engine. What's up with this? Also, I just remembered I need to eat breakfast as well. So I'll get the next position up for you guys. Let me just confirm why rook e6 is not a free pawn. Yeah, knight e4. This is what I was saying. Like, the positioning looks very, very strong. So, okay, let's get the next position on. I'm gonna make some breakfast, eat as I solve. Okay. You have a head start. Go. Okay, Team Rapid where? How have you been playing for 15 years if you look 15? That's a good point. I mean, hopefully we look 15 forever. Actually, no, 15 is a bit too young to be looking. I don't think I look as young as 15, but who knows? Team Rapid in where? Actually, it's very convenient. Of the whole of bloody Malaysia that this tournament could be taking place, it's actually in the same district where I'm living right now. So it's actually very convenient to get to. But yeah, still, I've only got around 15 minutes before I probably need to get moving. So I'm going to solve this one in my head. I'm not going to read chat just in case you reveal the answer. So let's go. Let's solve this. I've thought a lot about the position already, but before I get into it, I just want to say, like, I was really curious, like, how I was going to wake up today, whether I'd be, like, cooled off from yesterday and then just wake up, like, very relaxed, or would I wake up and be feeling like how I'm feeling right now, right? And that's the thing, like, I feel like when you play in a chess tournament, let's say you play a 9-rounder, I mean, this is like kind of unusual coincidence that something should unusually rattle my emotions just for a one-day tournament, right? Like the chances of this happening all yesterday evening is quite slim, right? But for a 9-day tournament, there's a decent chance that something like this would pop up and you know, and you know, change your kind of like your kind of base emotional level, right? So as basically what just to reiterate, like what Josh Waitzkin said in his book, The Art of Learning. You know, this guy's a champion, right? Like, you have to go with the flow of whatever your emotions are and channel it into something positive. Like, you have to use that intensity, you have to use that energy. And if you just try and suppress it, or if you get rattled by the fact that, you know, you're even feeling in like a slightly different way. Like, let's say, you know, my whole game plan was to go into this tournament very chill and zen and calm. And then I wake up like this. Well, then your whole tournament is screwed because you've already decided on that's how it's going to be, and it's not going to be like that, right? So you have to be flexible when it comes to playing in tournaments. And yeah, actually, this is something which I think Korchnoi was the example he gave, where Korchnoi, like, before every serious game or tournament, like date, rapid tournament, whatever, he would meditate in his room for an hour with the sole purpose of understanding where his exact emotions lie. Like, for me, like right now, like I don't have to meditate to know exactly how I'm feeling, right? I know full well. But use that to guide his thinking and his approach to the game. And I think this is so important. So, I mean, you know, it's not just like artsy-fartsy philosophical chess dudes who are doing this. No, even Korchnoi, the most bloodthirsty, practical killer, you know, is doing this stuff as well. So it's really important to check in with your emotions. So, okay, to discuss this position, we're pawn down. The knight on a2 is completely locked out of the game. We've got all kinds of pressure, you know, like aiming towards the white king. Maybe there's something there. Maybe there's some tension on this, but probably not, right? Like, it's pretty secure. It's pretty secure. So, what candidates come to mind? Okay, there are no checks in the position. With captures, you know, we've got a few random captures. Maybe this one, you know, exposing the king, like this is a theme. And in terms of threats, maybe we got like this knight g4. Maybe we got queen h5. Don't know if I'm missing a threat here. So, okay, let's go through them one by one. Now, the first thing I'm noticing is actually rook c2. Can we play queen b3 with the fork? But probably not, right? Like, the rook will just move somewhere, protect everything. Probably nothing. So, any other captures? Well, this just loses a queen. This just loses a queen. This just loses a queen. So, none of these captures are working. Then it comes to our threats. We only had a couple, right? Knight g4, queen here. Oh, we also missed out this capture. So if this capture and pawn takes, I mean, probably forced, right? What can we do? Maybe we need to combine the move orders. Yes, that's it, right? Now we play the move knight g4 because they cannot take because of mate. And in knight g4, we have a big threat, right? We're threatening queen h5 and queen h2. So we play knight g4. So what can we do to defend? So what about a move like knight f4, right? They protect this h5 square. What do we do then? If we had like if this knight was like being attacked by the rook, I'd sack the rook and then sack this rook and then play knight g4 and then win or something, right? So let's also think, okay, aside from knight f4, the annoying thing is the timer is going down really quick, so I do need to make a decision. I mean, we could play the starting move. I'm almost certain that that's going to be the starting move. Unless queen h5 is more precise first, but they still got knight f4. I feel like rook g3 is probably the correct starting move. I wouldn't play the move yet until I had more time to think. So probably it's a move order thing. Takes, and then give queen h5 first, right? Before knight f4 is played, king g1, and then knight g4, but then now they can take. And in terms of our threats, okay, I've got like 10 seconds or something, so I don't know, but knight g4 they don't have to take, right? They can just move the queen somewhere. But maybe the point is they've got nowhere good to put the queen. They don't have this square. So what do they actually do here? Oh, this is tough. What move do I play? I mean, I'm sorry, in a real game, if I've got 5 seconds on the clock and I have to make a decision here. Nah, fuck it, let's take the bishop. I was gonna play knight g4, but then it just feels so right. So okay, let's actually solve this. So if here and they go knight f4. I mean, it comes back to what Rowson said, right? In situations like this, do you trust your calculation or trust your intuition? I have trust my intuition here. I'm an idiot. Knight g4, knight f4, I just take the bloody queen. I didn't even see the queen was being attacked. Like, I was so focused on controlling this escape square and threatening checkmate, I didn't even see that the queen was attacked. And this is why you need to solve some tactics in the morning before tournament, because if you just show up to the tournament expecting to see everything, you're sorely mistaken again. There's knight g4. I just take the queen. If they take my queen, I take back. I'm up a piece. So knight g4 is just winning. Let's just double check. Is there any other move they can play to defend? So the queen is attacked. They need to move the queen. They don't have this square. Don't have this square. This doesn't help. This doesn't help. Yeah, so it's completely over. Knight g4. Game over. Okay, I'm glad that, you know, it wasn't such a stupid move to the point where they didn't even put it. But yeah, the point is that it's just, yeah, doesn't work. We just win a piece. Okay, nice. Okay, so what are people saying? Welcome Nico to the stream. Long time no see. How's it going, man? Yo, so I'm playing a 20+0 rapid that starts in 51 minutes. I'm just finishing off my breakfast and then I'm gonna head there on the LRT, which is like the London Underground equivalent. Yeah, holding the h6 square, exactly. Nico says, did not see knight f4, uh-oh. And yeah, that's what happens when we play only on intuition, but okay, intuition has our back as well. Like, probably if we're very strong intuitively and we find the nice looking move, you would think that, yeah, we've got enough coordination to deal with any possible defenses. Yeah. Move the rook to f1 to avoid checkmate. What are you talking about? Rook g3, h3. Oh, queen h5, king g1, knight g4. No, knight g4, the pawn can just take the knight. Right? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. The pawn can just take the knight because you've no longer got that threat. So this is it. Now, part of me wants to play a 10-0 game. Am I gonna have time? I'm not gonna have time. So let's just do one more exercise and then we'll call it a day. What's your USCF? I'm not American, my dude. So no NM soon, because in England NM is even harder to get than in the US. But okay, I'm gonna finish this. So I'll think in my head. Remember, evaluate the position. Understand what the goal is in the position. Understand your candidate moves. Shallowly calculate. Oh, and Nico, I need to tell you about this shallow calculation. Really, really interesting. And then find the answer. Lucas says play 5-0. Interesting. Maybe I will. And taking a leaf out of Prabhat's book, I'm just calculating queen h4 immediately, just because it looks so juicy. Yeah, but it's a little bit complicated. So this is why it's like important to really understand all the themes of the position. Because maybe like some tiny detail will become useful later, like that you need in the combination. So it's always good to just not rush, right? Like maybe takes on f3 is the winning line, right? Like if you spend your whole time calculating queen h4 and it doesn't work, then you're just wasting your time, right? So have a proper evaluation, have proper candidate moves, and then find a damn answer. I really want to make bishop takes f3 work. If it's just like, mating, then it's like, we can stop our thinking there. Oh, okay, no, it is just that, I think. Wait. Let's just double check. Yeah. So, okay, that's the thing, right? From my initial instinct, like queen h4 jumped out at me, but I also did well to stop calculating after like 5 seconds because I realized that actually, even though we've got this tactic, it's still very, very messy. Like maybe we can get away with taking and this stuff, or maybe we just sack the piece and try and go for mate instead. Like we've also got to consider like what if they try and run. I mean, there's a lot of tension here, right? So shallowly calculate enough to tell you that, okay, it's promising, we'll come back to it later, but, we only come back to it if necessary. And the thing is, if we start calculating bishop f3, I mean, okay, they don't have to take the bishop, but what do? Because the thing is, as soon as our bishop moves, we're going to have this threat. The king is super weak. I mean, we're still going to be a pawn down, but I think we have full compensation, to be honest, like, even if they don't take the bishop. And the problem is, if they do take the bishop, the issue is that we hit the rook, and they don't even have time to move rook g1 because you just go check and then we can pick up the rook. So even if we don't get checkmate, we're winning, right? So bishop f3, the only concern is if they have some active move and, they can't develop the bishop without dropping this pawn. I mean, I think bishop f3 has to be winning. Like, I don't see any useful move. Like takes, I just don't believe it. I mean, having said that, I don't see an immediate win, which I would want. Because the annoying thing is there, the queen does attack my knight, so I can't just retreat my bishop, or even like play some spicy move that doesn't work anyway. So what can I do? Maybe if I try and stay active and take on g2. Yeah, maybe that's good enough, right? I protect the knight. If they take back, I give a check, and then I pick up the bishop, defending my knight. Yeah, and I win 2 pawns out of that. Yeah, this is a little bit hairy, but his king is probably weaker than mine. Here we play it. Okay, so he doesn't even enter this line. Okay, so let's very quickly check with the engine. Yeah, so queen h4 isn't working. Oh, also wins due to the threat of knight g3, but then you have to see bishop h5, which I didn't see, right? Like, that's a difficult move to spot. Oh, queen h4, I didn't even consider this. I mean, I just saw that I'm picking up the rook here, so that's enough. And yeah, it looks like the guy escapes. In the starting position, let's just check. I reckon d6 has to be the top move here. Oh, actually, gf3 is still better. Okay, so what am I missing here? Oh, simply fe6 and bring in the rook. Right, I've still got the same threat, right? If queen takes and I still hit this rook. That's a very good point. Didn't need to overreact to that. But I'm lost here? I don't know if you guys can see the engine. I haven't fixed the overlay on this. So maybe let me just share my full screen. Let me just show you guys this. E takes f5 is +5. Are you actually kidding me? Oh, because of this reveal. No. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I do not enter these unnecessary complications when it can be helped. And in general, my opening repertoire is good enough to avoid such unforeseen problems. But okay, this is actually really annoying. So okay, I can take with the queen though, and then they're no longer attacking me. So what's the? Oh my god, bishop c4. Are you actually for real? What the hell? I mean, I was just content with this position, right? I was just like, this is winning. But it's I missed a very important check, and this is why we gotta consider our check. So okay, that's actually a really good reminder going into this 20-0. I'm playing. I don't know if I can pull up my opponents. Like, probably it'll take too long. But my team I'm playing for, we're actually seed number 8 out of like 20 or something. And our team, I'm board 1, but the top 7 teams, they all have like incredibly strong board 1s, like 2200s or something. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, and they are gonna spot e takes f7 every day of the week. So I need to be looking out for checks on my king at every single moment. So that's really good. Okay, let me quickly have a look. Yeah, that's true. I'm not in England, but I'm still British. I caught it in one of your videos. What do you mean caught what? Oh, the shallow calculation. Okay, awesome. Glad to hear. Good to play warm-up game first. B takes f3 or queen h4, one of the two. Yeah, B takes f3. Okay, good job, Jan. Opening repertoire is good enough for my level. You enjoy the C3 Venom course? Okay, UKIT. Okay, I'm calling you UKIT. I realize that your name is more like You Quit, I Laugh, but we'll keep going with UKIT. That's a nice username, by the way. But yeah, it's 8:20. Quick 5-minute game, or do I go? No, I think I need to go. Just double check I have everything. Yeah, make sure I'm not forgetting anything important, like my wallet or something. And yeah, I'm not gonna be lacking any chess. I've got a full day of 20-0, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. So, on that note, let's go play the best chess we can. We did pretty well on the puzzles. I mean, we made this mistake in one variation. But okay, remember two things about the clock. For opening, only 4 minutes. Imagining we flag when we get down to 5 minutes. These little things are going to really help. So on that note, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Thank you guys for tuning in, and see you guys on Monday. Maybe even tomorrow morning if I do a spontaneous stream to warm up as well, if I feel like this has helped me. So thank you guys for tuning in, and see you guys. Adios.